Welcome to myprojectbuzzer.com. Let us see the title of the project: Product Aspect Tracking and It Application. This is the data mining project. The stack of the project, the consumer reviews of the product is available to the internet. Lot of the product maximum to the scoping of the ranking in product basis. This new techniques for proposed system, we have finding to the product aspect framework. This aspect framework automatically identifies to the important aspect for the product. We have using the dataset of phone product dataset. The dataset contains lot of the consumer review reports. It will be maximum for 20,000 of data. We have find firstly the product aspect first. Then we have opinion mining to implement the product ranking, aspect ranking. First step, we have implementing in product aspect. Next we have identification to the sentiment classification to find the positive and negative ratio of the product aspect. The product aspect classification we have used to the SVM classifier. After the classifier, we have finding to the pros and cons concept. The pre-processing step is as usual the same process for the stopper and tokenization and the noun phrase of Stanford parser. The Stanford parser used to noun phrases to divide it to the consumer reviews. After the sentimental classifier, we have providing to the weight for aspect. So the product and the consumer reviews, first of all identify the aspect, then aspect basis the review will be classified to the sentiment analysis, then sentiment after analysis we have finding to the weight processing for the aspect. So that aspect to comparison to the all the product. So we have finally getting the ranking of or scoring of or frequency value of the aspect. So finally we have the weight processing using to the probability ranking algorithm. This algorithm specific to two updations only. Simultaneous for the what are the product and product basis, we have updated to the ranking. So we have final result to evaluated product versus weight and product versus frequency. Then the product based on aspect and then aspect based on product. This is the result of the product aspect ranking. Let us see the flow of the diagram. This is the architecture of diagram. So the product and the product also we have using the phone product and the consumer reviews to collect the data set. First of all, we have finding the product identification. In the identification we have similar to the concept of the Stanford parsers with using the SVM classifier. In the Stanford parsers, we have the pre-processing processing. It's only for use to review the consumer review to parsing to the noun spaces. After the classification to use to identify the product only. So the aspect identification for the product to find the product identification for the aspect. After an aspect identification, we have forward to the sentimental classification. The sentimental classification to use two type of working. The sentimental classification used for positive and negative ratio of the product aspect review. Then the sentimental classification, first of all the opinion aspect. What are the aspect opinion? Then with the SPM classification to find out the aspect ratio. The sentimental classification finished. Then aspect ranking we have using the probability ranking to the weight processing. The weight and frequency processing to update the aspect ranking process. This is the architecture diagram process. Next we have the flow of the diagram. This includes the start the application, the product and the product review. We have processing step and the Stanford's using our processor. When the processor we have taken to the product aspect identification process. We have the one class SVM to the product aspect identification. Then the classification find the product aspect identification. Then will be forward to the sentimental classification. The sentimental classification find out the positive and negative ratio of product aspect, then the opinion aspect and the ranking process will be included. The opinion aspect will be ratio of the sentiment classification. So this is the process will be updating for each and every choosing for the product and the aspect ratio. The ranking aspect we have using the probability aspect ranking. The algorithm to update the ranking aspect. Finally we getting the aspect ranking result. What type of result we have shown? We can show to the demo. Let us see the project demo. This is the first frame of process. We have browsing the aspect product. So we have finding the product. So then the file extractions, the classified will be the success result will become after we putting the view product. So we have the view product and the next processing. So the product, the list of the product identification will be done. If you choose any one of the product, just the user ID, you have only one user ID content. Click the reviews. We have the review for the one review for this product. So next review concept, next processing. In processing step we have two species identification. Then will be review. Then click and the review process. Then the parsing and the aspect finding. The process we have using for stand for process. How to the process? We have similar to the pre-processing step, the stop word removes and the documentation process and the parsing. The parsing we have using to the stand for process. With the processing we have conveyed to the noun phrases for the aspect identification. It will be loading for a few minutes. We have using to the bin folder of the Excel lot of the application inbuilt to the process. This is the briefly chatting for the aspect patient. We have a need for the phone, battery, NN forms, and with the charges NN forms, the convenience. This is the product parsing only for the parsings, aspect finding. So the aspect finding we have using in the place for the aspect data set. So the training sets will be include class by successfully. The result will be analysis. For the verification for the review, just check the verification. Then in class SVM to find out the battery charges we have using to the three of the content will be the product aspect to finding. This one for the inform to the aspect identification. Next we have the sentiment classification. This part only for the current updation for a product. It will be the classification for the whole product. What are the selecting product? We have the classifying all things. It will simply the click and checking the aspect. So the positive ratio for result of aspect identification list. Then the negative ratio so we have analyzing. This is the current updation so only for current product. So we have including this one. This is the sentiments classification. Next we have sentiments in individual classification. So we have selecting any one for the aspect. It will be listing product. We have taken to the two product. So sentiment classification for the sentiments. So 0 is the positive, and 2 is the positive, and the 0 is the negative. This individual separation part. So next we can coding the weighting process. First of all we have identification. What are the aspect to find out? And this what are the product will be identification. I will choose the one of the product in the headset. So chargers. So first of all click the aspect. We have selecting to the N1 charges and to the weighting process. The weighting process 0001 is into product ranking. The product is 2 and the aspect identification is 7. The frequency calculated the same ratios for the process. So this will be contained for the probability ranking. What are the charges will be updated for everything. The next you choosing any other product, the charges for identification, the ratio will be updated. The weighting process updated automatically, the frequency value updated. So finally, what are the classification? Find out the aspect list. We are generating the graph. The result of the product, the Bluetooth is the weight and the charge is weighted the result. Result of the list is a weighting and the frequency value. So next we have the product with aspect. This is the product ratio and the weight ratio. For this product, this is the weight ratio, this one, and the product is the frequency. This product based on the frequency weighted. So next to the aspect result we have generating separately. So this is the product. We choosing to the product. So you just see to the what are the aspect of the scoring level. This is the charger for the aspect. This is the scoring level. Next things we have the Bluetooth expert based to product levels. This aspect for the product. This Bluetooth will be various product. So we can update to the all the product to the chargers. This aspect will be this product. In case you added to the product for simultaneously, it will be updated in the dynamic graphs.